How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the new Nissan Z GT4 car. Now, it's actually currently basically debuting, or I guess it already just debuted in public for the very first time at SEMA. I know I did a video about it a while back in September, so if you haven't already, definitely be sure to check out that video, because I kind of go more about like the introduction and talk about how Nissan is going to be competing with this new Z GT4 car. However, in today's video it's going to be pretty shorter, and essentially we're just going to be going over the price of it and a couple of the new like emerging details and different specs that Nissan actually went ahead and revealed with the car in its first public debut here in SEMA 2022. But before we get into today's video, definitely be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Also, if you've been like watching the channel, or if you've already subscribed, definitely be sure to click that little bell icon down there. That actually also turns on post notifications and gets you guys notified every time that I do post a new video. As a smaller car channel here on YouTube that posts new content daily, it really means a lot to me. But anyways, without further ado, guys, we're going to be looking at a Car and Driver article today. I want to leave credit to them as well, so the link to that will be down in the description below. So if you want to like go ahead and read this in a little bit more detail, definitely feel free to do so. But here, as you can see, it's 450 horsepower up from the regular stock 400 horsepower, and it's 230 grand. Now, most of the time when manufacturers actually make these GT4 or GT3 cars kind of for sale, a lot of them are not street legal. I'm probably going to assume that's the case for this new Z as well. But if it is street legal, definitely be sure to let me know down in the comments below, or if other emerging details come to light in the near future, like after this video, let me know as well. But yeah, I mean, basically just under $250,000 for this new Z, which is pretty crazy. And what's also kind of crazy is that the power that it's making is really not that much higher from the stock numbers. Now, obviously it's a GT4 car, as you can see by this picture here. You don't really have to see much else of it to know that it's just a full-blown race car. You got all the different aero in the front. That's all dedicated aero. None of that is for looks. That's not like your local stance boy or hot boy just picking whatever they want up from AutoZone. All of this stuff is proven in wind tunnels and actually on the racetrack. You can see the big meaty slicks on the rear, as well as the front. Looks like it's got pure, like basically purebred racing slicks on it in the front. And also, you can't really see it too much from here, but the interior is essentially completely stripped out, full roll cage in it. And we will actually be looking at some other pictures, hopefully. Yeah, here you can see whole fire suppression system. It looks like the twin turbos are completely built on it as well. You could see like all the cooling pipe and charge pipes all set up there with the nice beefy like aftermarket intercooler and the different cooling system components in the engine bay. And just looking at the roll cage too, I don't know how many points it has, like if it's like a 10-point cage or 8-point cage or whatever, but the entire car, the entire chassis is a dedicated race car. So now moving on to the interior, this is actually pretty funny, because besides like the little race dash and all the buttons and everything right here, the overall just like center console like doesn't really look that much different from like a new stock Z. Now obviously you have the detachable, or at least I have to say that it is a detachable racing steering wheel right there, with the roll cage coming up front, all the different buttons kind of integrated in the center console, and then the big nice aggressive bucket seat right there with what I'm assuming is an empty kind of passenger side with no seat on the right over there. But obviously you can't really tell from this picture. It kind of looks like there's not a seat in it at all. But yeah, technically the price is actually supposed to be $229,000 with a $1,000 destination charge, but it's basically 230 grand. And then after any like miscellaneous fees or whatever, it's essentially $250,000 new Nissan Z. Also taxes too, you have to keep taxes in consideration. And here are some of the specs for this new Nissan Z GT4. It's basically running off the same twin turbo 3-liter V6, so it's not actually punched out, the displacement, so it's still regular, just 3.0, but it's making 450 horsepower with 443 foot-pounds of torque. So not much less torque than horsepower, which is very nice. That is an indication of a very even power curve, which is pretty obvious if you're building a dedicated race car. And although there's not really much of a notable increase in the horsepower, the 93 extra foot-pounds of torque, because that is one thing about the stock C's. They definitely do have a decent amount less torque compared to horsepower. But again, with this dedicated race car, I'm sure that they can squeeze out probably a little bit more top end, but they aren't going to, because they're probably on the limit of the low end power with the modifications or the power mods that this actually does have. Also, it has complete Brembo brakes, 18-inch raised wheels. And again, it just says sticky race compound tires, which are 10.5 inches wide on the front, 11 inches wide on the rear. So I don't know exactly what that translates to in millimeters, but they're pretty thick tires. And they actually don't give us like a company or anything, so they don't say like Michelin something or Pirelli something. But yeah, this is pretty much it. Again, it's debuting as we speak at the 2022 SEMA show over in Las Vegas. But the main reason why I wanted to kind of do this video today is to get your guys' opinion. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys would pay pretty much $250,000 US for a new Nissan Z. Now, yes, it's a GT4. Yes, it's a dedicated track car, but we see plenty of used like Porsche GT3, GT4 cars out on the secondary market, and the BMW GT cars and all sorts of different like GT cars out there. There's actually an Instagram page, and this isn't even like a real dedicated shout out. I didn't even plan this, to be honest with you, but I follow an Instagram page called Racecars for You, and they always post up like different listings of these kind of different GT/Cup cars, and most of them are used, but some of them have generally like low mileage. And honestly, just looking at the prices for those cars and then looking at this new GT4 Z, this price actually does seem a little bit steep for a Nissan. But again, I do love the new Zs. Let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments below. While you're down there, definitely be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff I said before. It really does help me out a lot. If you stuck to the end of today's video, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed today's video, click on either of these links right here to watch a similar video from this channel, or click on the little circle link right there to actually subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. I do appreciate all the support, but thank you for sticking to the end of this video, and I hope you have a fantastic day.